Scottsbluff's auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Matt Williams. We're currently broadcasting live and on location on Wild Country 106.9 and KZY 101.3 to welcome home the Scottsbluff Bearcats. And before we start, as many of us all know, it's been a long time since the Bearcats have won a basketball title, and we are going to bring up a member from the 1955 team, Chuck Halstead. Chuck Halstead, are you here? Here he is. Chuck Halstead was a part of a team in 1955 that defeated Omaha Tech 53-47 and then defeated Creighton Prep 63-61 to win the title. And lo and behold, that's close to the score from yesterday. Chuck, can we ask you some questions? What do you remember about that title game?
Not really much.
Well, I was told from a man in Lincoln I was sitting next to, press row, he said, is this name familiar? Are you familiar with Bud Murray?
Yeah, 33 points.
33 points in the state title game?
Yep.
And Bud Murray hit the game-winning jumper, he told me?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he lives in California.
He lives in California, I'll be dang. So what was your role for the team?
I was a center.
You were a center?
Sort of a sub-center. There were about three.
So at the time, you guys were a part of the biggest class in 55. How has the game changed from 55 to now?
3-point rule. I think Murray would have scored about 50 or so if it had been 3 points.
Now, did you get a chance to watch the Bearcats on Saturday?
No, because I had Dish and they got rid of NET.
So how proud are you of these guys able to kind of put it together as the times have changed and how tough it is to go down there and win 3 games in 3 days?
Well, it's tough anytime you go into a state tournament like these players did, and they're Bearcats, so they fight to the finish.
Talking about the 1955 member Chuck Halstead here at Scottsbluff High School's auditorium. All right, who wants to go first? Where's that head coach guy? Tony Siski. In 5 years, 3 trips to the state tournament. 2009, you win against Scott, you lose against Beatrice, and then the 3rd place game, you fall to Sydney. Last year, a very disappointing finish against Lincoln Pius X. Has it soaked in at all, or is it kind of finally sinking in now that you're home?
It's hitting right now.
We'll go back to all the excitement again. The Aurora game, you said we survived, we move on, 62-59. The Beatrice game we'll never forget, so 61-60. South Sioux City, 64-61. You're a Ralston kid, you kind of grew up around that eastern side of the ball, but how proud are you to come out west and put a team together that finally shows them we know what we're doing?
I'm just proud of these guys right here. I mean, great group of kids that represent the school the right way. Right back to coach.
You and I talked, of course, before yesterday's game about the Beatrice game when Eric hit the 3-pointer to cut you within 1. And you go through that situational stuff, it's maybe throughout the year, and of course you try to put things together, and you got the 5-second call that puts you in a good opportunity. Go back, flash back to that to get you into the finals.
There were so many plays that happened. I mean, you can look back, I remember a big offensive rebound put back by McLean, a big 3 by Rich, 3-point play by Zach. Just the overall team defense to get the 5-second call, we made it tough every time they had to get the ball in bounds. Getting rebounds, it was a sequence that had to play out the perfect way, and it did.
All right, Tony Siski joining us here again as the Scottsbluff Bearcats come home with their 2012 title. Thanks, Tony, appreciate it. All right, let's bring in, I gave him a nickname, I don't know if he likes it, Bench Boy, come on in. Michael Haddon. points from the semifinal to the district final. You had 11 against Beatrice, 18 against Aurora, 19 against South Sioux City. What drives Michael Haddon?
I don't know. Got a great group of guys, and you just want to go out and play hard for your teammates, and play hard for the glory of God, and drives me to do my best.
Watched you kind of grow up, I think, this year, and you got stronger, you got faster, and I think you got more courage to where you took that ball and you just went down the lane. You said, look out, here I come. I'm going around you, I'm going over you, I'm going up and underneath of you. But to make that all work, a lot of it came from the free throw line.
Yeah, I typically shoot pretty well from the free throw line and started struggling in the middle of the year, so every day before and after practice I shoot some free throws, and I started knocking down state and just got a lot of confidence, and I was able to, make most of them down there.
What's it feel like?
It's unbelievable. Something I'll never forget.
You ever jumped as high for a rebound, or the game against Beatrice, you guys were jumping pretty high?
Yeah, that was a good time.
All right, Michael Haddon joining us here on Hometown Family Radio. All right, Mr. Eric Moreno. It seemed like in the Aurora game, you guys played at Pershing before, and let's face it, that place is a dump. We don't like to play there. Next year, you need to kind of maybe get to the ball more often. Well, how hard was it? You kind of struggled from three-point range, but then, of course, you talked about that big three. You cut it within one against Beatrice. Were you frustrated at all when you were shooting the three?
Not really. I was hoping for my teammates to drive and get to the hole, and hopefully I could get open and spot up. And I started to hit a couple shots in that game and led over to the next game against South Sioux, and it worked out for us.
It was kind of a hard time against Aurora. They started pressuring you guys there late in that game to try to come back as the Ashby kid hit three three-pointers, and then South Sioux did much of the same. What was said in a lot of those timeouts to try to get the ball in the front court?
It was just take care of the ball and slow down, and we had enough timeouts that if we needed to use one, it would have been all right, so we just got through that game.
All right, Eric Moreno joining us. Give him a round of applause. All right, Mr. Rich Williams. We go back to South Sioux City game. You guys really kind of, I use this term a lot, the pedal to the floor. When you guys came out in the third quarter, Eric hit the 2 threes. You answered with the 3 threes in a row to kind of cap that off. You also had the daunting task, you and Michael Haddon guard one of the best players in the state, and Mike Vassell and Trey Bardsley. Kind of what you flash back, how hard was that task to guard those players, but to worry about everybody else as well?
It was really tough. Yeah, to go from one night to guard Trey Bardsley and then go to guard Mike Vassell, it's unbelievable. I'm so tired.
What was preparation like when you know that you look at the field, or when you're in Lincoln, you see all of the teams, but you worry about one team at a time, one night at a time?
Just go out and play as hard as we do every day, and that's what we did, and we brought home the state championship.
That's right. Rich Williams joining us. All right, Mr. Zach Clemens. You got a big game against Beatrice. You literally looked like a horse. You were galloping in the lane. You worked around them. You got good position. You started off the game very, very well. Kind of talk about the Beatrice game where you felt like you were able to get comfortable, where you had the good start.
I just want to come out and be aggressive and try to make plays, whether it's me scoring or get someone else open, because they had good defense. You want to put pressure on them and make them play the entire game.
A lot of the times, when we go back to Trey Bardsley and Mike Vassell, where you and Isaiah, a lot of the times came out to pressure them, and then you'd sag back a lot of the time, covering a lot of ground. Maybe you can fall in that tired category as well with the 3 games in 3 days.
Well, the guys that guarded those 2 guys did an outstanding job. I know they got a lot of points, but they contained them. They didn't let them go off for big points. I think they held Mike Zell if they scoreless in the first and the third quarter, and that's just a feat by itself.
All right, Zach Clemens, give him a good round of applause. I don't know how lucky it is just to stand there and hold that trophy, but how about Julian Garcia? They didn't have to take it away, you could have brought it over. All right, Julian, you've been who's come off the bench, try to provide that spark. But you handle the basketball so well. You're not scared to shoot the three, shoot free throws well. I always watch you in practice. You're always shooting the short shots first. You know, just kind of talk about what it was like down at State and to come in and provide the minutes that you had to do to give somebody a rest.
Well, it was fun. Pretty speechless right now. I feel pretty great. I wasn't that nervous at State, but district side was a little bit. I'm a little bit more used to running and stuff with them, I guess, but felt pretty great at State. Was ready, pretty confident. I know the team was. Everyone was ready to go.
I've always wondered this. Can I touch your medal? Can I see how heavy that thing? Oh yeah, that's nice. So what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna I think a lot of kids they probably put in their room, something to look at, something you'll keep forever.
I'm not sure yet.
All right, Julian, thanks a lot. Congrats. All right, let's bring in Mr. Matt Klein. You were a young man that got in foul trouble a little bit throughout those games. How frustrated were you, but try to overcome it?
I tried not to get frustrated. It's hard sometimes, but you just got to keep your head in the game. No matter if you're on the bench or in the game, you got to be there for your team. So.
In the South Sioux City game, you had a little 5-foot bunny. I don't know if you remember it there in the second half, but you came more a little aggressive in that second half again. Also in Beatrice and tried to go in. They stuffed you a couple times, but that window of opportunity, that split decision to decide, do I go or do I not? How do you make up your mind?
Like Zach said, you just got to stay aggressive, and you always have to be a factor out there. No matter where you are, you have to make sure that the team that you're up against has to guard you, and so you just have to stay aggressive and be willing to take shots when you needed to.
All right, Matt Klein. Give him a round of applause. All right, again, 57 years. Anybody else? Am I missing anybody? Oh yeah, this kid. This kid, Isaiah Costello. Hi, sir. You were one of the tallest players in Class B when you were going into it. And your size also, with Zach's size, two pieces of a puzzle that kind of, you know, almost needs to be there when you go down there to play teams like you did. How was it when you guys had to take on the 6'10" McDonald from Aurora? You guys had him in foul trouble, but then never could get him with the fourth. What was that like to take on a big guy like that down low?
Never really had to play someone bigger than me. When you got someone 4 inches taller than you and about 100 pounds more than you, it's kind of hard to push them around.
The other kid from South Sioux City, he was pretty much a load too.
Yeah, he was 5 inches shorter, but 150 pounds more than me.
Probably one of the biggest keys is it just looked like constantly when you're taking on those big guys, you just constantly try to fight over the top, and then get around them as well, but they just keep kind of pushing around like a pinball.
You just got to be faster, basically. You just got to move faster. They're too slow. When they're big like that, it's hard to move around.
All the hard work pays off, don't it?
Yeah.
All right, Isaiah Costello. Anybody else? Am I missing anybody? Anybody? Young guys? Any of the young guys? Now you know what it's like? He wants to hear Trent's voice. All right, let's give him another round of applause. Hoist it up. Your Class B state basketball tournament champions. And just to let you all know, we are going to re-air the state title game. We're actually going to re-air the fourth quarter of the Beatrice game and re-air the entire state title game on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on 106.9. So if you'd like to listen to the title game again, you're more than welcome to. We'll have full